Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your July 2020 read. As promised, like I said, I would do a quick turnaround for your guys' July 2020 because of how long it took to get to you guys, Taurus and Capricorn, and I think Scorpio, were all of my last videos that I did that took the longest to upload. So I apologize in advance for that. If you saw last month's, then you know why there was a delay. If you are new to my channel, what I do is, since I record off my phone and I upload directly from my phone, is to save time, I shuffle 8 cards off deck using the original Walter Tarot, I think it's Rider Tarot deck. I shuffle 8 cards off camera, and your 9th card on the side, which is your overall energy, and then I go through each card on the read, and then I use after tarot, sex, magic cards, romance angels, and then notes from the universe that are kind of hard to see, but they're next to your overall energy card. And so this is for Tauruses, for Taurus sun, moon, rising, Venus, and I think Mercury is important because Mercury is how we communicate. If you are someone returning to my channel, thank you for keep watching and checking out my videos. If you're new, I hope you like them. If this doesn't resonate with you, I highly recommend checking for your other placements. So right now, the only video that is uploaded besides your guys's, depending on when you're watching this, obviously, is Virgo. And then next I'm going to do Capricorn, move into the water signs, and after I do all the water signs, it'll be fire and air. But when obviously all the other placements are up, I highly recommend, the other signs, highly recommend checking your other placements unless you're someone who has Taurus in all of those placements that I try to, pull for my read. Okay, so let's get into this. Your overall energy is the High Priestess in reverse, which the High Priestess usually has to do with like intuition, the occult, and like it could be like the occult and also supernatural things. Trusting your higher power, trusting your higher power along with your intuition and things like that. Since it's in reverse, I would definitely say there is a lack of trusting your intuition. There's a lack of looking within. Maybe you have right now a lack in faith, whatever you believe in, whatever religion you believe in, or if you're not religious, whatever is like your core beliefs that kind of keep you going. I like spiritually wise, you know what I mean? I feel like they're being kind of shaken right now for some of you. Okay, so let's get into your whole little cards right here, your read. So your first card of your read is the Death card, which Death card can represent Scorpio. So some of you may have Scorpio placements, some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio. If not, the Death card is about something ending and something new beginning. So was it you guys or Virgos read last month that was very like so one of your guys' read last month was like tons and tons of nostalgia, and then the other one was like, okay, you really need to move on. And I know Virgo's read that I just did yesterday was like, I need to let it go. So I don't know if you guys are switching around this time or what, but or some of you haven't learned your lesson yet, so you need to be reminded. But yeah, there's a cycle coming to an end. It can even be a relationship, it could be a job. Something is ending and something new is beginning. This does not necessarily mean like death. It doesn't mean like an actual physical death. But again, just because we are living in a time of a pandemic, I would say be very careful. Make sure you're, washing your hands, that you are doing your best to social distance, that you are wearing a mask when you go out. Even if you're someone who has a really good immune system and you rarely get sick, be careful, you know, because some people have underlying conditions that they don't know, and they think they're healthy. So the only reason why I point that out is just because we're in a pandemic, and I want to say that. But most of the time, this card is not actually about, like, you know, physical death, and, you know, it's more of about like an emotional death. You know, something is coming to an end and something new is beginning, usually cycles. Or if there is a Scorpio you're dealing with, since it's upright, it could be a confirmation, like, yeah, the person you're dealing with is obviously Scorpio and this is about that person. Or it's like, you know, you might be really working out good with a Scorpio. Okay? Your next card, though, is the King of Swords, which can represent air signs, which would be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. If you aren't dealing with one of those signs, or you don't have those placements, I would definitely say that either you or the person you are dealing with it has a very, like, you know how to be really authoritative, and, you know, he's holding the sword upright, knows how to use it and, like, use that sword, but also has the other hand down, can be very just, and I don't say level-headed, because I feel like a lot of air signs aren't level-headed, but this card is about someone who can balance, like, listening to other people and being soft, and also, like, being able to make, you know, swift judgments. But if we're talking about characteristics, other characteristics with air signs, this could be someone who's really witty, someone who might be in their head a lot, and their head in the clouds type of thing. So some of you may be dealing with one or the other, but, you know, just want to throw that out there. Your next card, and the reason why I do think you might really be dealing with an air sign is because you have the Star card in reverse, which this represents an air, not an Aries, an Aquarius, which again is an air sign. But this is in reverse. So if you are dealing with an Aquarius, I don't know why I keep saying Aries. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, you know, there could be some rocky bumps there. You could have Aquarius placements, but the Star card is about either how you feel about yourself, or how you feel about the other person, or how the other person feels about themselves, or how they view you. So this is like someone isn't where they need to be. They don't feel very confident. They don't see themselves as very confident. The other person doesn't see them as confident, like, or you don't see the other person as confident. Also, it could be like, you know, when it's the Star card is also usually about, like, seeing someone and thinking, oh my God, this person's wonderful and amazing, and, like, they're the best. But in reverse, it's kind of the opposite of that too. So that could be going on. There could be someone, either you don't view them as, like, a star, wonderful, amazing type of person, or they don't view you that way, or both of you don't view each other that way, and, like, individually, like, you guys both have low self-esteem, and it could be causing issues. All right, your next card is the Chariot card. So the Chariot card can represent Cancer. So again, you could have Cancer placements. The person you're dealing with could have Cancer placements. But this card the Chariot card is about moving on to something better. Things are moving, or things are just moving in a better direction. Like, you could be in a rocky situation in a relationship, and it can be now getting out of that rocky stuff and going better. Some of you are really moving on to something entirely new but better, you know? The reason why I say that, because, again, you had the Death card in the beginning of the read. I really don't know why this card keeps coming up for you guys, because I feel like this card has come up for you guys with almost every read I've done for you, is the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles, so the Pentacles can represent earth signs, which Taurus, you are an earth sign, and the other earth signs would be Virgo or Capricorn. So if you aren't dealing with other earth signs, I would say this card is, so threes can be, again, which I've talked about before, I swear, in your videos, threes can be about third party situations where it's like a love triangle, basically, whereas you and two other people are involved. Whether or not both of those other people know, that's different, you know? But it could be like you have a crush on two people and none of those two people know that you have feelings for them and you haven't done anything. It could literally be something just as simple as that. Okay, or there's someone who has a crush on you and two other people and they don't know which direction to go. And then it could be the more obvious where like you or the other person you're dealing with is in a relationship and then, you know, obviously the other person involved. So it could be something like that. It could literally be, yes, cheating and things like that. But also, funny enough, the Three of Pentacles has to do with work and tradition and values. Since it's upright, I could say you guys could, some of you maybe have your, like, moral beliefs tested right now. But some of you could be coming into good work situations too. It depends. That's why I clarify, because to get a more sound idea of what's going on here. So, your next card is the Six of Pentacles in reverse, which, again, Pentacles represents earth signs. To me, so this card upright is about you are either giving or accepting less than you deserve. If you are giving less than someone deserves, that's really terrible. Don't do that. If you are accepting less than you deserve, don't do that. And if, you know, someone is like, again, if someone's doing that to you, it's not cool. But in reverse, to me, it's like either you are stuck in a cycle of this, or you are coming out of being in a situation where you were accepting less than you deserve, or they were accepting less than they deserve from you. It could be either or. Oh, excuse me. Your next card is the Seven of Cups, which this card is about wish fulfillment. So this card is like, you have maybe, or it could be like you have multiple things and options that come your way, and it's kind of like you can choose one, and, you know, it could very much lead you down to a really good path. So until I clarify this, I can't say if it's good or bad, but without clarifying it, it's usually good. This card usually means like you can kind of pick any of these options and you'll be fine. It's leading you to where you're meant to be. Let me repeat that. It is leading you to where you're meant to be. So, it may not work out in the way that you think it does, but it's leading to you to where you need to be, where you are going to come up to things that are more emotionally fulfilling. And it could be that thing itself that you pick that is going to be extremely emotionally fulfilling, but it is, those options are meant to lead you to your path, basically, is what that means. And then you have the Five of Swords in reverse, which this card is about, and again, swords represent air signs, which would be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. But this card is about like no longer having petty fights, being more authentic, and, you know, coming from a place that's more genuine. That is what that card is about. So either you or the person you're dealing with is going to be moving in a much better energy. All right, let's clarify these babies. Why is the High Priestess in reverse for Taurus as their overall energy? I do hope you had a good June 2020, because sometimes, like, and again, sometimes I want to remind people too that Taroscopes, they are a potential of what could happen. I believe fully that you and other people, you and everyone, has free will. So, like, you know, I think that, yeah, the cards, universe, God, spirit guides, archangels, romance angels, you know, Buddha, whoever you believe in, could be like, yeah, hey, these things might be coming your way, but you can make other decisions that alter it. I fully believe that. I fully believe that free will plays a part. But also, you know, sometimes these cards are telling you, like, hey, remember, you deserve better. And some of you have a hard time remembering that, you know. So sometimes those are sometimes what the messages are. And sometimes they're just potentials, because I do believe in free will for you and the other people. Like, again, you could have a reading that says, like, hey, this person's your soulmate, and they may as well be their soulmate, but if they don't want to put in the work, it's not going to work, you know? And I'm sorry, Taurus, I just wanted to say that these are always potentials of what could happen or what could be. Okay, so why is the High Priestess in reverse for Taurus. And I'm sorry to go off on that little tangent, but I felt like it needed to be said. Okay. All right. So you have the Eight of Pentacles upright. So, again, Pentacles can deal with, besides representing other earth signs, they usually have to do with finance, work, again, traditions. They can deal with, like, things that are nurturing, solid foundations, people that are grounded. But this card, to me, it's about being proud of, like, or like you put in all this hard work. And I think you're scared because, again, your intuition, you're not trusting it because it's in reverse. So I think maybe you were in a situation before where you did, like, you worked really hard in a relationship. You were trying to put down a solid foundation, or it could even be work related. You really put down a good solid foundation. You were putting in the work, and you were like, your intuition was telling you this was the right thing, and then maybe it didn't work out. So you're kind of scared of, like, you're kind of scared to trust yourself is what I'm seeing. Like, you feel like even if you lay this really great solid foundation, that you can't trust it. And you're scared to trust it. You know, and sometimes things fall apart so something better can come in. You know, that's always something you have to remember. So why is the Death card here for Taurus? Why is the Death card here for Taurus? This is for their July 2020 read. You've got the High Priestess. So I think that since it's clarifying it, I think you're coming into a situation. I think maybe the cycle of you not trusting yourself and not trusting your intuition then is coming to an end. And you're going to be in a much better place where you are trusting your intuition. You are, you know, this has to do like light and darkness, stuff like that. I think you are... I just made a realization to Lost. Have you ever watched, have you seen the show Lost? There's, so on Lost, there's the character that they call the Man in Black. And then he has a brother named Jacob. And the Man in Black, obviously represented in black. And when you see Jacob, it's in white. And they are two, like, coins kind of the same side type of thing. And I just thought that was very interesting. That I just realized that. So yeah, and that whole story between them, I don't want to spoil Lost for people who haven't seen it, but yeah, it's a battle of light and darkness. So for some of you, you may be battling your light qualities with your dark qualities, but I think this card reminds us that you have to be able to balance both of them, and trust your intuitions and things like that. So I think, yeah, you are coming into in a new place where you are trusting yourself a little bit more. Or the person you're dealing with is coming to a place where they're trusting themselves a little bit more. Okay, why is the King of Swords here in Taurus's July 2020 read? Okay. Well, you have Temperance. So Temperance can represent a Sagittarius. If you aren't dealing with a Sagittarius or have Sagittarius placement, this card is about being able to, like, have balance, and being able to balance different areas of your life. Also having patience. So some of you may be really incredibly impatient. I feel like Tauruses are impatient, but also at the same time, you guys like to have a routine. Like a routine down to the point where you're like, you guys are scared to like fall off that routine. I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah. So you guys really need to have patience right now, I think, is what it's saying, because maybe you want things to move on quick, because, and especially since it's clarifying sword energy, which sword energy, just like fire energy, is supposed to be quick moving. Yeah, I think that, like, maybe some of you are trying to rush where you are in a better place. But sometimes you can't rush it. Sometimes you do have to do all the heavy lifting and, like, heal and work on yourself before you get to a better place. Okay. Why is the Star card in reverse in this read? Why is the Star card in reverse in this read for Taurus? you got 2 cards that fell. Alrighty. So you have the Nine of Wands in reverse, which to me, I feel like there is a lack of hard work, putting in the work, and like very much feeling defeated. And then you got the Justice card, which can represent a Libra, which is an air sign, which you keep getting air sign stuff. But this card is the Justice card, and it's in reverse. So there may be a situation that has not yet got justice, and it's just making you feel defeated. Maybe that's why you don't see yourself as the star, as an amazing, wonderful person. The other person you're dealing with doesn't feel that way about themselves, or they don't feel that way about you because they feel like they were done dirty. It could be very much something like that. Oh, and this already wants to jump. This is the clarifier for the Chariot card, because that's what I was about to do, is the Death card. So yeah, I do think that there is going to be a cycle that is ending, and it needs to end, or it could be a situation with the Scorpio ending, but like you are moving on to a better place because of it. Like you are going to be definitely, a cycle definitely needs to end before, something needs to end before you can move into a better situation, for sure, is what that card is saying. Okay, why is the Three of Pentacles here in Taurus's read? Oh, you guys just have, you got 3 cards that fell out to clarify this. All right. Oof. Sorry if you heard my stomach rumble. You have the 4, no, that's the 6. Why can't I read? You have the 6 of Cups in reverse, which this is about someone or something new coming along. So it could be, yes, like I said, you know, a new, how I set up there, it could be a new cycle, but it could also be a new person coming in. And since this is clarifying the 3 of Pentacles, it could be a new person coming in that catches your feelings that maybe like it was unplanned. And now you have the 9 of Swords, which this is usually about like slaying your like demons, or like slaying like your anxiety and your depression and what's keeping you up at night. But because it's with this, I feel like maybe you are actually worried and kind of like, oh no. Like, you're like, oh no, this new person came in. This was not what I expected. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So things are kind of stuck right now, and they're not really going anywhere. They're not moving forward. And maybe also because things are stuck, and maybe there is someone new, and you're no longer in a third party situation, but with this someone new, they're still kind of not moving and going anywhere, and it's maybe making you a little bit anxious because you're like, did I do the right thing? That might be what some of you are thinking. Okay. Can we clarify the 6 of Pentacles in reverse for Taurus? Why is the 6 of Pentacles here for Taurus? My foot just falling asleep. Why is the 6 of Pentacles here for Taurus? I'm sorry if I'm shouting. I mean, when I listen to it on my phone, it sounds decent, but I don't know what it sounds like if people are listening from like a computer. So I'm sorry if I'm way too loud or if I'm not loud enough. Like, again, I record from my phone, so until I can get it all hooked up, this is kind of how we're doing things. Okay, so you have the 5 of Pentacles. That is 5, right? No, it's 4. Why can't I count? You have the 4 of Pentacles upright, which this card is about greed. Well, it could be about greed. It could also be about like 2 things. It's either you are holding on too tightly onto something, or you're not holding on tight enough. And something's gonna happen where it makes you do what you're supposed to do. So if you're holding on too tightly to something and not letting it go, something's gonna come along and it's gonna make you let it go. If you are not holding on tightly enough to something, something's gonna happen where, you know, you're gonna be like, okay, let me hold on to this better. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. All right, so now we're clarifying the 7 of Cups. Oh, and you got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, I do think that there is a lack. I feel like whatever you choose, it might not necessarily lay down a solid foundation, or the nurturing kind of things, the stableness, the steadiness, the sturdiness that you're hoping to. It might not be as great as it looks, so be careful. Yeah. All right, and then sorry if that looks all messy. And why is the Five of Swords in reverse and straight for Taurus? Nope. And you have the Empress. So the Empress, yes, it can be female energy, but again, like I've said in all my reads, I try not to make anything gender specific. So the Empress card can, yes, also it can be about fertility. So some of you need to be careful because there might be like extra male or female. You might be extra fertile. So if you are having sex with someone who has the opposite, reproductive system than you, and you guys are having sex, be careful. And I know people are like, well, why don't you just say women and men? Well, because for someone who, I know there's going to be someone who says that, and it's because there's people who are non-binary, there are trans women, and there are trans men, and, who are dating each other, and they have opposite body parts, and, whatever. Like, that's why. Anyways, but people who have opposite reproductive organs and y'all getting it on, be careful. Be careful because y'all might be a little bit more, you might have stronger sperm, your eggs might be more fertile than usual. So yeah, this is about fertility. So for those of you who do want to get pregnant, yay, congratulations. I think it's gonna be a lot easier because again, it's clarifying the Five of Swords in reverse. So it might have been a little bit difficult in the past. Now, if we're not talking about fertility stuff, this is about, the Empress could be just about like needing to really like own your power. And for those who are more on the feminine side, you might want to really own your feminine power, embrace it. It's time, baby. And then the other thing is, this card is about like being the ideal partner, whether or not someone sees you as the ideal partner, or whether or not you see someone as your ideal partner. So yeah, I think that, so maybe that person is finally coming through because you stop being petty or they stop being petty, and now it's like allowing like, genuine connection to come through. All right, what else does Taurus need to know for July 2020? But I definitely say right now, y'all, please really be careful with like, if you are having sex with people who have, opposite reproductive organs and stuff, then you be careful. And if you are having obviously penetrative sex, just be careful because like, going to the, like, if you don't have to go to the doctors, don't go to the doctors right now, just because of so many places are at high capacity, and you don't want to be someone who, catches corona. So protection right now. Be careful, you guys. The only reason why I say that is just because I would hate for someone to be in a situation, where they go to a hospital and, you can't guarantee that every hospital's doing safe practices with cleaning. You can't guarantee every place is being safe and clean. So just be careful, okay? And the reason why I say this, for those who are wondering, who didn't see my video last month for June, it's because a coworker of mine, and I work at a coffee shop, they tested positive for corona, and that's why there was a delay in the video, if you heard me reference it earlier. So I'm just really trying to relay to people to be careful, because it's real. Okay, so you do have the Queen of Cups. Oh my God, the Queen of Pentacles. And Queen of Pentacles is the kind of the same as, in a way, the Empress card, with like, it could be someone who is kind of mother-like, very nurturing, has like really good fertility stuff going on. So again, please be careful having sex, because yeah, this card is also about fertility and like abundance, and just someone who's nurturing, someone who's going to be a mother, someone who can become a mother, someone who's already a mother. but it's upright, so it's positive, you know? But still, be careful, guys. Okay. Or some of you are maybe dealing with an earth sign, and it's like, hey, things are going to go really well with an earth sign lady. Okay. Or you are an earth sign lady watching this, and it's saying that you're in a good place right now. Or will be in a good place. Eventually. Okay. What else does Taurus need to know for July 2020? Oh, okay. You got the King of Swords again. So, yeah, I definitely say that there might be, you might be dealing with an air sign. Very much so, because you keep getting swords a lot in your read. Yeah, I would be very careful, because sometimes air and earth doesn't always go well together. But I also want to say, just because you and someone may have like placements that are incompatible in terms of astrology and stuff, don't fully rely on that, because at the end of the day, if whoever's willing to put in the work with you, they're going to want to, if they really like you and they want to make things work, they are going to do their damn best to make it work, even if they're an earth sign and you're an air sign, or vice versa, you know? But yeah, with the King of Swords, I would definitely say you might have a Gemini. I don't know why I keep saying Gemini. Maybe because I'm a Gemini. But you might have an air sign, which would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And you've already had Libra and Aquarius cards in this. So I would just say, like, be careful, because some air signs, especially men, or those who have more, like, male energy, when it comes to air signs, they can be very, like, in their head. And they may be really good at writing poetry and writing lyrics, and writers in general. But, like, can be really bad at trying to convey their actual emotions to you. Air signs, especially Geminis, are very good about, like, understanding it individually. Like if you have a puzzle piece, right? They can tell you about what each little piece means of the puzzle, but then when you put it all together, they have no idea what the heck it is. Like, it's crazy how Geminis can, air signs, but Geminis especially, can miss the big picture. So I would say just be careful with an air sign. But since he's upright, I can feel like, you know, just might be someone who's a little bit witty, and their head might be in a little bit in the clouds, and they might sometimes be a little mean, but not overly, just because they know how to balance, like, their harshness with their gentle side. Okay, what else does Taurus need to know for July 2020? Oh, there's too many. Sorry. What else does Taurus need to know for July 2020? Ooh. You got the 8 of Wands, which wands can represent fire signs, which I forgot to say that earlier when you got one of the wand cards. So wands do represent fire signs, which would be Aries, Sagittarius, which you did get Sagittarius earlier, and and Aries. But this card is about victory, success. This also another card about fertility. And it can also mean, like, Cupid's arrows. So yeah, there may be someone new coming through, maybe some old person, but new feelings being stirring up, you know, like, yeah. All right, and give me one more card for Taurus. No, sorry. Give me one more card for Taurus for July 2020. July. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I was reading a Princess Leia novel, the Leia, Princess of Alderaan novel by Claudia Gray, right before, like, I started doing your read, so I'm, like, in a decent mood. I love reading Star Wars novels. Oh my god. They're so good. Okay. Give me one more card. Come on, give me one more for what Taurus needs to know for July 2020. Oh, there we go. Ooh, and you got the Knight of Cups. So, to me in this deck, the Knight of Cups is like, make sure you are nourishing yourself, you are giving yourself love. You know, yes, go and offer your love and spread your love to other people, but also make sure you are taking care of yourself and fulfilling your own cup. And, you know, you drink from your own cup, because sometimes, you know, you can be giving other people your cup, but then, like, no one's filling up your cup. So make sure you are filling up your cup, too. Okay, let's do Sex Magic. Can I get 4 Sex Magic cards for Taurus for July 2020? Okay, there's one, which is the Five of Swords. I'll go over what it means in a second. Because as y'all know, who know me, these ones don't mean the same as, like, the actual, you know, deck. I mean, the regular deck and the after tarot. It's different. Okay, there's another one, which this is the Queen of Chalices in reverse. Why does that look like Chrissy Teigen in the drawing? Okay. All right, give me 2 more, please, for Taurus for July 2020. Give me 2 more. Okay. You got the World card in reverse. One more. Come on, one more for Taurus, please. Oh, there we go. All right, and then you have the Three of Wands, which is upright. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. So the first one was the Five of Swords. Where are we on time? Okay, not too bad. So I said Five of Swords, right? Yeah. Swords, swords, swords. Okay, 5. Ooh, this is about shaking things up. You must overcome the fear of judgments, shame, and a sense of inadequacy. You must give yourself a good shake and take some risk. Okay. You know what? I'm going to agree, because you did have cards, like, with your High Priest, like, your overall energy, with your High Priestess being in reverse, and, like, you're not trusting your intuition, and you, like I said, some of you may be scared to move on to something new because of how someone else went in the past, but you need to let that fear go, shake things up. And if you are with someone, have some fun in the bedroom, y'all. Shake it up, do something a little bit different. Okay, and then the next card was the Queen of Chalices, but you got it in reverse. So, the Queen of Chalices, that is, ooh, tenderness. So there may be a lack of tenderness in your relationship. Okay, so this says, a tender and gentle story brings you to the point of planning your future with serenity. So if there's a lack of tenderness and a lack of, like, so I would say that there is a lack of, like, gentleness, and there's a lack of, like, maybe really having, you could be scared to be tender, they could be scared to be tender, but it's, like, causing you to not see the future, or it's causing them to not see the future. Okay, then the next one was the World card. The World. It is in reverse. So there may be a lack of gratification. So it says, touch ensures continuity, a gratifying and complete relationship, peace and lasting happiness, a serene family. So with the lack of gratification, there's a lack of touch. There's a lack of communication and commitment here for some of you. And it's causing, there's, like, a lack of happiness and stuff in this relationship. So like I said, some of you may be holding on to something that isn't working. Others of you may be too scared to, like, really be vulnerable and intimate with someone. And it's like, if you aren't doing what you need to do to keep a relationship going, or keeping what's best for yourself at interest, like, someone's going to come along and shake it up eventually. Remember that. Okay, and then You got the Three of Wands. Look at the Three of Wands. Woo, woo, woo. All right. So, Three of Wands. Let's find that meaning. Wands. So, Three of Wands is about kissing. And this one's upright. So, it says, the force of understanding, desire, and craving for nostalgia help to rediscover a feeling you thought you had lost. So, maybe y'all don't do enough kissing in your relationship. Or maybe you haven't kissed someone in a while and you need to, like, remember what it's like. You know? And that's okay. All right. Let's do these romance angels for Taurus for July 2020. Okay, there's one that fell. Children. Okay, see, your love life is being affected by children right now. But so because you have the Empress, the High Priestess, the Empress, Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands, some of you, yes, children is definitely affecting your love life. Some of you may be getting pregnant. Some of you may want to get pregnant, and maybe your partner is not on board with that. Or they're not on board. If you aren't able to get pregnant, you want children, and maybe your partner doesn't, okay? Or they could have someone could have a kid by somebody else. It could be a kid that's on its way. It could be a kid you already know about. It might be a kid you don't even know about. Or the other thing is that your relationship is lacking a childlike fun, playfulness energy. So yeah, either way, in some type of way, shape, or form, children is for sure playing a part in what's going on with your love life right now. Okay. Give me 3 more cards for Taurus for July 2020. Okay, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So this is like could be one, the literal, like you and your person are gonna go on a honeymoon. Be careful if you are traveling though. If not, it could be like you are still in the honeymoon phase of your relationship. You're about to get into a relationship and it's gonna have that honeymoon phase. Or you can meet someone while you're out. Actually, if you're single, you can meet someone while you're out traveling, okay? All right, and give me 2 more cards for Taurus. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. If something don't feel right and you already know it don't feel right, pay attention to that. And give me 1 more card for Taurus. Oh, and this fell out. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So, for some of you, as it says, yes, you have to release your ex and let go of them in order for you to allow better things into your life. And it's not even necessarily relationships, just whatever hurt they've caused you, you need to clear it and let it go. For others of you, it could be other things that is causing your energy to be where you can have an energy that's it's blocking other things coming in towards you. Good things, whether it's work, whether it's friendships, whether it is romance, cool career opportunities, money. You're just in a place where your energy is so cluttered and not in a good spot that it is blocking things coming your way, and you need to clear it, and you might need to heal, and that's okay. Okay. Now, notes from the universe. What do we have for Taurus for July 2020? I like doing your guys' read, Taurus. I hope you've liked it. Okay, there's 2. I'm going to give you guys 1 more. Give me 1 more for Taurus. Virgo, I don't know why, but Virgos, maybe because I was just so worried while I was doing theirs that I felt so bad that theirs took so long to upload, because I did their read an hour or more before your guys's. I started uploading them before I did your guys's read, and theirs took forever to upload. So I think that was just on my mind while I was doing their read, unfortunately. Okay. Give me 1 more, please. Oh, now it dropped out freaking I said 1 more, so I'm going to take the first one that fell on there. Okay. All right, and I'm going to read this one first. That you have options is meaningful. Rock on. Ooh, some of you got some multiple options. What does it say on the back? If I could make just 2 wishes, I'd wish somehow to convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know your unimaginable importance, just as you now are to the lives of so very many. And of course, I'd wish for even more wishes. Oh, shoot. You were such a good idea, the universe. So some of you may have multiple options right now when it comes to love and what to do, where to go, what path to go down, which is awesome. But again, choose wisely. All right. And your next one is, you're being watched by loving eyes. And it says, what if you're actually an ancient gladiator of love and joy who agreed to visit Earth during these primitive years? So spark some new thinking, share a few smiles, and help others discover they too are awesome. Just saying, the universe. P.S. Up for a joust, of course, with rubber thingies. Yeah, so you might be having someone who's watching you and they're very into you, or like you already know about them and they're just looking at you with so much love and joy and happiness, and that's wonderful. The last one is, sometimes the good is hidden, which I know you guys got this card before. And it says, find the good in what they said or asked. It's always there, even if they didn't mean for it to be there. Sure, lucky, yours, the universe. Clues for what you want are hidden all around you. Ooh, so some of y'all, yeah, figure out what you want. Make sure you aren't holding on to anything that is no longer serving you. Again, don't accept scraps. Don't be giving people scraps. If you really are with someone that you really like and cherish, but you kind of are very loose and not showing that you don't care about them, you need to, before something happens where they're no longer there, whether because they think that, they don't really like me, so I'm going to leave them, or whatever. Like, just, yeah, whichever situation applies to you, do obviously what you think is best. Obviously, remember, free will is a thing. But yeah, I wish you guys a very happy July 2020. Until next time, Tauruses, bye-bye.